Okay. I'm going to share with you some riddles. Have you ever worked with riddles? Do you know what are riddles? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Professor.
Okay.
Yes, Professor.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay. Let's read this first riddle. I mean, you have to guess what is it. Okay. I have cities, but no houses. Forests, but no trees. And water, but no fish. What am I? I have cities, but no houses. Forests, but no trees. And water, but no fish. What am I?
The
Is that
earth. The map.
Yeah, get it. Good. 1 point. Excellent. What has to be broken before you can use it?
An egg.
That's right. Excellent. I speak without a mouth. I hear without ears. I have no body, but I can alive with my wing. What am I? I speak without a mouth. I hear without ears.
sounds?
I have no body, but I can alive with wind. What am I?
I don't remember how to say it in English, but I think it's el eco.
That's right. Excellent. Oh, imagine that. Okay. I am always in front of you, but you can't be seen. What am I?
The shade.
Sorry?
The shadow.
Uh-huh.
The shadow? No.
Shadow.
Because the shadow you can see. But it says you can't be
My
seen.
eyes?
No, you can. You look in the mirror, you can see your eyes.
My nose?
The forehead.
No idea?
The
Yes,
nose.
that's an idea.
Tomorrow or the future.
Sorry?
Tomorrow or the future.
Yeah, that's right. Excellent. The future, no? The future. Mr. Carlos.
Agarrando en toda.
Okay. This is a very interesting technique to develop critical thinking. Okay, the riddles. And we're going to see more riddles in the future. Okay. Now let's start our class today. We're going to talk about more about critical thinking and do more exercises. Okay. Sorry. It's important that in every exercise that you can do, you can try to apply the information that the things that you are learning, and these activities are very useful. Okay, to improve. not only for yourself, but also you as teachers, you can use them. Okay. Yeah. Lesson 2, deepening critical thinking skills. Okay. When we had already learned something about critical skills. Can you tell me what have you learned?
Professor, the volume is low.
Sorry.
El volumen está bajísimo.
¿Está muy
Escucha
bajo?
bien. Sí.
My volume. I have to speak louder, maybe. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have to speak louder. Sorry. I was asking you, what can you remember about the lesson, yesterday lesson? About critical thinking. What is the idea of this?
Good afternoon. Well, according to the videos that I have watched and
Yeah.
PowerPoint, I learned that critical thinking is a skill that you develop and where you put in practice deep analysis,
Yes.
evaluation, and synthesis of any kind of information. And when you do that, you realize or you find out if it is true or false.
That's right. Very good.
Basically that.
Yes, very good. And so the factors that you have to take in account in this is evaluate, okay, and is also taking out bias and also making some true assumptions based on very truthful sources. Okay, very good. Let's continue talking about this. Critical thinking is a systematic method for evaluating ideas, beliefs, and action using logic and evidence. Okay, so that's the important point, evaluate. Okay, we're going to watch video to earn mind-blowing critical exercises to supercharge your mind later, okay? But let's continue doing this. When you read a shocking headline, you don't immediately believe it. You ask, who wrote this? What's the evidence? So when you get a news, because especially now when you're reading the WhatsApp, say, oh, that's an interesting, surprising news. But is it true? Who wrote it? What's the evidence? So we have to always evaluate the information, the things that we get. Okay? What do critical thinkers do? How can you develop this? Ask questions. It's one of the most important things that you can do. Ask questions. Why? Why is this? Why is this like that? No? Why they are saying that thing? Okay, so when the information that you have to ask always questions, especially why. No? And also gather relevant information. As I told you yesterday, when you want to start working an essay, or when you want to write a report or a paper, you have to have at least 5 sources of information that help you to develop your ideas. Consider other perspectives. Okay. It's important to look the other sides of the things that we are talking. Okay. For example, well, think about biases, Okay, you say, okay, I think this, and I had to get this information to support my ideas, but it's not in that way. You have to look the complete picture of the whole, okay, of the ideas. Think through conclusions. It's important to have conclusions to think and say, oh, okay, this news is telling us something, okay? Some new ideas or some good ideas, okay? Or it's saying us bad ideas, okay? But the thing is to think, okay? And also, when you want to, you have to communicate clearly what you want to write about. And also, when you consider all this, maybe you will learn that you are wrong, okay? So you have to change your mind to okay, your point of view, but according to the whole evidence that you have, okay? And we're going to do a forum, a model discussion, okay? And the idea is, have you ever changed your mind after seeing better evidence? Okay. Okay, meanwhile we are working, you have to think in this question, okay? And you can write your own experiences, okay? The 7 habits of critical thinker, okay? A critical thinker always look for truth, no? How we can critical thinker do this? Asking questions and follow evidence. That's the path that you have to follow. Judicious. Weigh arguments with care. Okay? Inquisitive. Curious about many topics. Confident in reasoning. Trust your logic. Systematic. Thoughtful processes. Okay, systematic says that when you want to, for example, when you write some essays and reports and paper, you have to follow a path to do this, okay? So you have to be systematic when you write, okay, or when you analyze something. Analytical. And also we have, for example, the CRAAP test, that we used yesterday. And this is an example of systematic, Analytical, consider consequences, okay? Before thinking or doing something, you have to consider the consequences of what you are doing, okay? Open-minded, respect other perspectives, okay? You don't have to see that, okay, this is what I think, this is the truth, and nobody will change my mind. No, you have to think, you have to listen, you have to find the evidence, and then you can change your mind, okay? And for this activity, so to apply this 7 habits, we're going to do the activity. Choose a habit and write a situation where you use it or didn't. Okay. And this we have a strong critical thinker skill, for example, okay? When you prepare a debate, the moderator needs to have a strong critical thinker skill, no? We're trying to do a role plays with this situation, okay? But be prepared. First, you're going to do written, and then we can do a debate. Okay. Also, we had a debate that day. Okay. Interpretation skills. How can we improve our interpretation skill? Recognizing, describing, and organization information without bias. Example, summarizing a good graph, identifying the main idea of news article. Okay. For example, we have here talking about what is mental health is or isn't. No? Look at the graph or infographic. What is it saying? Okay. Now you have to tell me what this infographic. This is an infographic. Okay, talking about mental health. Okay. What can you see? What is mental health according to this information? You can open the PowerPoint on the platform. Okay. And you can read. Okay. A ver, one of you. Mr. Carlos, could you read aquí? Mental health is...
Excuse me. Yeah. Mental health is a part of everyone, something to look after, real and complex, really important, something you can change.
Yes. Very good. And what isn't? Miss Kelly, Omar, could you read? Listen.
Hi, Professor. Mental health isn't a sign of weakness all in your head, something you can just snap out of, always a negative thing and something to be ashamed of.
Yeah. Very good. Now, who can tell me what is the main idea in this mental health infographic? A ver, Miss Isabel Quiroz. According to this infographic, how can you explain mental health?
I didn't understand the question, sorry. Can you repeat it, please?
Okay. When you read something, you have to get some conclusion. Okay? Yeah. This is an infographic about mental health. No? What are your conclusions about this? What can you say?
Well, just by looking at it, I can say it's very creative, but I don't know if the information is real or not because it doesn't have any sources or it doesn't have a doctor's name that says that mental health is a part of everyone, something to look after, real and complex. I know that it is true, but I don't see a doctor saying that mental health is that.
Very good, very good. You're applying your critical thinking skills. That's right, excellent, very good. Okay, that it's good. So you have to look for other articles that support or deny this information. Huh? That's great. Excellent. Okay. What is analysis? Analysis is breaking down information and comparing ideas. Okay, so as a task, you're going to compare two articles, identifying the main claim in an editorial. Okay, so this is an example of analysis, comparing two articles. Identifying the main claim. That's why you are in your task, you're going to read a short editorial. It's the author main claim and reasons. So I have an example here, but maybe you can look for another one. Okay? Let's continue. What is evaluation? Judging credibility and whether evidence supports conclusions. Is that information credible? Okay. As you say, Isabel, you have to have the evidence, no? Who's the author? What is the company that publish this information? Okay. And we had also here examples. Is the author an expert? Do the statistics make sense? Okay. Okay. A case study about Bolivian education model. Activity. Evaluate a short article using the CRAH test. Topic 1, education in Bolivia model. A student in mental health in crisis. Campuses are rethinking their approach. There you have some examples that you have to evaluate. Okay, two articles. You can use these or you can use others you like it. Okay, very good. Next, inference. What is inference? Using evidence to predict, plan, or interpret meaning. Interpret meaning. Using evidence to predict, plan, or interpret meaning. Interpretation, okay? When you read this news, maybe you can say, okay, maybe you say, for example, the dollar is going down. You say, maybe tomorrow I'm going to buy some dollars to get it cheap. Okay, you can plan this with that information. Okay. Or maybe you can say, no, it's not, it's just trick. Okay. It's not serious, this information. Okay. So you have to do the inference according to what? To the evidence that you have. Okay. So examples. Predict what happens if a law is passed. Plan a solution to a problem. Okay. Predict what happens if a law is passed. Plan a solution to a problem. Okay. A law, no? For example, the traffic law. No? If you pass red light, what will happen? No? And if you have this, you have to plan a solution to these problems. Okay. Exercise. If AI tools are banned at universities, what will happen? Okay. In this case, you can use a chart like this, and maybe you can write advantages or disadvantages of AI. Okay. You have an example here, but it's not compulsory to use this. You can create your own tool to infer something according to the the article that you have. Okay. What will happen if AI tools are banned? Okay, also something that you can use, explanation, communication findings clearly. You can write your ideas and they have to be clear. Oh, so okay, 10 minutes. Examples: creating charts, explaining, reasoning, citing. Those are some tools that you can use to explain. As I told you before, you can start working with CMAP tools or infograms or something like that. Maybe where you can explain what you have learned. Okay. Self-regulation. Monitoring your thoughts and staging objectives. It's important to do this, okay? Examples: separating facts from emotions, revising based on new data, okay? This is very important. So staging objective, okay? Reflection prompt. When did you have to change your view based on evidence? Okay. So this is another exercise that you can do in your written exercise. Okay. Examples. Real life examples. Okay. Judge evaluation evidence. A student revising essay. Scientist testing a theory. Teacher giving feedback. No? Those are real life examples that you can judge, evaluating the evidence. Okay, match each person with a critical thinking skill and explain why. Well, that's difficult to do this. Okay, group text. Okay. In your family, maybe you know better your family members. Okay. Match each person with a critical thinking skill and explain why. For example, you say, my father is, okay, we remember the 7 habits of a good thinker. Maybe you can evaluate every person in your family and explain why do you think so. Okay? Task, critical thinking, choose one. Behavioral health pose, strong political claim. Right. What question would you ask? How would you check it? What sources would you trust? Okay. So you have to choose one of these, and then you have write some questions about this, and also you have to look for some sources to support your ideas. Okay. Okay. At the end, you have to reflect. What's one thing you learned today? How will you apply critical thinking in your next assignment? Okay, so you have to this just as a reflection for your work, and if you have to explain, what you have done, what you have learned in this first one, and how you will apply this information in your next assignment. Okay. Okay, that way we develop this critical, and you have some exercises to do that, okay? To do on the platform, okay? Meanwhile, you're doing, I will check the assignments that you sent yesterday, and after that, I'm gonna give you. Could be hasta las 4, podría ser. Ya, para que trabajen en esto, en estos ejercicios. y a las 4 yo vuelvo a conectarme y hacemos un debate de lo que hemos visto, de los ejercicios, de las dudas que tengan. ¿Ok? Pero de todas maneras, que ustedes han enviado la plataforma y yo voy revisando. ¿Listo? Any questions?
Good afternoon, Professor. Sorry, could you give us a little bit more of time?
More time, okay. Could be
Please.
hasta las 5, ¿puede ser?
Okay, thank you.
¿Sí?
Yeah,
Ok, a las
Thank you
5.
so much.
Ok, cualquier cosa sí yo voy a estar atenta al WhatsApp. Ustedes me avisan, ¿listo? Eso necesitan que hagamos un Zoom, entonces hacemos el rato que necesiten. ¿No? De todas maneras yo voy a estar revisando. ¿Listo? Ok, class. Voy a poner la asistencia también en la plataforma para que ustedes puedan mm, marcar su asistencia, ¿ya? También les voy a poner este otro documento que tengo acá para que puedan tener otras ideas. Examples. Este documento aquí. Tienen que ver el video también, por favor, ya que tenemos ahí. 20 critical simple examples. Entonces ustedes van a leer cuidadosamente este documento y ahí también tienen que evaluarlo si está correcto, porque aquí, por ejemplo, yo les he puesto la fuente, de dónde es, quién es el autor, todo eso, ¿no? Entonces, por ejemplo, este es un doctor en educación. Así, ¿no? Entonces, primero evalúo de quién es y entonces empiezo a leer, ¿no? Y voy a sacar mis propias conclusiones, ¿no? Eh, y voy a ir aplicando lo que yo necesito, digamos. ¿Listo? Ahí. Creo que no estoy compartiendo, ¿no? No compartí el documento. Sorry.
No,
Perdón. Ya. Ya, este es el documento que les decía que me parece muy bonito, muy atractivo. Lean, van a ver el video también que está ahí, el link. Ya, de todas maneras, ahorita se los paso en el WhatsApp, el link del video, y este documento va a estar en la plataforma, ¿ya? Un fuente de información. Entonces ustedes trabajan en la plataforma. ¿Listo? Recuerden que en el foro también pueden entrar y leer los comentarios de sus compañeros y ver si están de acuerdo, si piensan que en algo pueden mejorar. ¿Ok? Entonces ustedes le pueden demostrar alguna evidencia de que puede mejorar en algo. ¿Listo? La idea es poder, digamos, hacer este sharing, ¿no? Compartir las ideas, compartir la información y sobre todo ustedes pueden activar su, su critical thinking, ¿no? Su criterio. ¿Ok? Muy bien, class. So, do you have any questions? No questions? Entonces,
Para hoy no hay foro, ¿no es cierto?
hay foro, hay foro.
Para hoy.
Sí, hay
Eh,
foro.
Estoy en la plataforma y no sale.
A ver, un momentito. Sí, es que lo estaba abriendo. Marina lo cierro.
Lo que tenemos que hacer es el worksheet que está subido a la plataforma,
Sí,
¿verdad, Liz?
sí,
O
sí,
sea, ahí ya están directamente todos los ejercicios, ¿no?
sí, exacto.
Las diapositivas. Ok, gracias.
Okay. La diapositiva. A ver. Sí, ok. Bien. Tema 2. Deepening critical thinking skills. Ese es el PowerPoint. Writing exercises. Aquí tenemos los ejercicios escritos. El foro 2. Ok. Entonces, ahí les empleo la fecha. ¿Listo? Y acá arriba donde tienen asistencia, Ahí voy a subir y voy a tratar de subirlo también aquí donde dice asistencia, voy a subir ahorita la asistencia, ¿ok? Aquí van a abrir, ¿listo? Se corta el Zoom y voy a habilitar la asistencia. ¿Ok? Any questions?